So these are all the branches I brought in from the big pine tree out back. Its boughs were all weighed down by the snow, so this probably actually helped it bounce back the branches up higher, take some weight off. So the branches are just in the bathtub here drying out so that all the snow that was on them. And I think this is the first time my cats have come across anything like this. I should actually probably hang these up. Laying down like this probably isn't helping. They won't dry out completely. I should hang them up. So here are some of the branches I have laid out. These are some of the shorter ones. I have some longer ones and in the bathtub still. This one here, I kind of like this one just sort of, just a second, just sort of as it is. I think it just kind of looks cool as it is with the pine cones all at the bottom. I think I might just leave this one and hang it up somewhere. Maybe put a little red bow or something at the top, but other than that, I just kind of like it with the pine cones, like, oh, I can't get far enough away. There. I just kind of like it the way it is, so I might just leave this one just like that. So basically all I'm going to be using for this is I have some green thread, so it should hopefully disappear into this a little bit, and scissors. And then I was looking for something. I don't really have a lot of Christmassy, Yule-y type of colors. I'm not a big fan of red. So I was trying to think of what are some things I could put in this, and then if I wanted to burn this afterwards, I didn't want to put too much like metal things or plastic things on this. So I was digging around for a thread, and then I found this box of, what do you call it? You know those little cheese wheels that come wrapped in red wax? Well, I have the red wax here. I was thinking I could turn them into little balls and make them look like berries for the branches maybe, or something. First thing we're gonna do is take this pine cone off. Like that, and we'll use this later. All the pine cones were shut when I brought them in, but they've opened up since warming up, which will make it easier to tie. So I want to start from this end, and I'm going to take the thread, and I'm just going to, where's the end here? There's the end. So I'm just going to tie off the end here, and this will definitely disappear into the branches because I'm already having a hard time seeing it. Just in case. What I was thinking of doing is using this to just to bind it a little tighter. Now I don't want to bind it too tight, maybe tight here, but I don't want to bind it too tight because I still want that end's getting in the way. I still want it to be a little fluffy. If I left it big and wide like this, it would lose all its definition, so I'm going to try and make it a little tighter. Do it super tight. Something like that. And there's going to be bald spots like that. I was thinking I was going to have two branches going either way to make one branch, but this is already looking pretty thick there. So I guess I could take some branches off of this and put it down here. Or you know what I could do? Bend some branches going the other way. That I want down. Oh, not that one. That one. That one I want down. You guys could smell this. I wish I could send smell over YouTube because it smells really, really nice. And for now, I'm gonna leave the ends a little bit fluffy like that, just to play around with. I might wanna, just to play around with. And I'm just going to break off a bit there and tie it off. Done. Not super straight, but I can bend it a little bit. I think that'll work nicely. Let's try get the other ones done. So here's this one. Pine cone, so just pull that off. Make it look roughly as full as this one here. So that means I'm gonna have to bend down that one a little bit more, so I'll probably bend that down. Really decorative and seasonal-y with it. You can get like red thread, thicker thread, or maybe red ribbon and wrap it with that. And have sort of almost a candy cane effect. Again, I'm not going to leave the little end there like that just in case. One's a little longer than the other, but they don't have to be exact. 2, 3, 4, 5. I used to make the pentagram. This one here, so this one will go there. These two are the next longest ones. I am thinking that. I was watching some other ones where they just use sticks and not like the evergreen like this. I said to do the inside corners first and then the outside corners, but I kind of want to play around with the inside corners more than I want to play around with the outside corners. So I think I'm going to tie the outside corners first. That looks kind of okay. So it looks, that would be the way it would go. Yeah, it looks okay. Let's try the inside corners. Double the string, maybe that'll be easier. I tied all the corners going this way, so now I'm going to tie them going the opposite way so that they're good and secure. The best way to do these joints, because they need a little bit more strength to them, is to double over the thread. I did this way, so this time I'm going to go this way. I tied it this way and this way on all the points. So next is the wax balls I want to make, or I'm not sure if I want to make them like small little berry size, if I want to make them like that size. I was thinking small little berry size and then do like 3 in each corner. Well, let's see how much one of these Baby Bell wax covers, just 2 sides, what size they make. I'm going to use the heat of my own hand, obviously. Not much to form these into something, into a ball. Perfect, but it's a nice little size there. That should be a good size. And then I would have a pine cone hanging from the 3 of them, so it would be something like that. Yeah, that should work. I just have to get the thread into there. So this one is already, it's still warm, so I should be, oh yeah, when they're still warm, the thread goes straight through them. So that's easy to do. Although when they're warm, they pick up everything. I have all the counter covered in little all the stuff falling off of the branches there. Anyways, yeah. So that's good to know that the thread goes through it so easily. Then I can line them up instead of forming them around this. So that's good. Another one. And it does not take much at all to form these. I thought this was going to be a lot longer of a process than it's actually turning out to be. I'm probably going to have red hands after this, but oh well. And the little seam marks, they warm up so quickly with your body heat that you can just sort of pull over the seams like that, smooth over them, and once you think you got them kind of basically smoothed out, you can pull it again. They're really easy to work with. This is a good choice. I'm gonna want them to kind of be in that type of a, oops, can't see anything. I'm gonna kind of want them to be in this kind of shape. So that's kind of where I'm going with the thread when I'm pulling it. And I just pull the thread through. It's really simple. And then close up that seam. There we go. Simple. You could even make a garland, I guess, this way too. Since they stick together so well at this point, I was thinking instead of trying to shape them with the string later when they're hard, I can just sort of squish them together at this point into the how I want them to be on there. While they're still soft, willing to stick together. Also, At this stage, they are sticking to everything while they're still warm. So if you wanted to roll them in glitter, this would be, while they're still warm, is the time to do it. Got all the little red balls done. I just squished them together there and left the thread in so I can tie them on instead of gluing them on. I'm trying to do this all with no hot glue or any sort of products like that. The most man-made product is obviously the Baby Bell red wax here, but I think that'll, if I decide to burn it, it'll burn pretty decently. It shouldn't give off too many gross fumes. I don't think. I've seen a lot of people use it for candles and whatnot. It should be fine for this. So I'm just going to put that there, and I like it to go like that. Get it as close to the point that I can. Well, the other thing I was going to mention is, at this point you would want to decide whether you want this side or you want this side, which is a little bit more rustic looking, which is nice too. It has a definite charm to it with the branches showing and whatnot, especially because these branches, some of them have like the moss, the lichen growing on it, but I think I prefer it this way, which I still have some branches and whatnot showing here too. Here to last like multiple seasons. It's supposed to last one season, hence real branches and all that. If I can kind of squish some of the pine needles into the back of that, and maybe it'll stick up properly. So that, can't see it all in one shot. That's sort of what I got going here. So soaking these in Epsom salt didn't turn out the way I thought it would. I think I put way too much water in there. So since they are soaked in water thoroughly, well, Epsom salts and water, I'm gonna let them dry off. That might in and of itself create a little coating of crystals, but what I'm gonna do too is I have sea salt, but it's in very fine, it's not in the big granules, it's in the fine granules, and I think this will stick to the white pine cones better than the big chunks of sea salt. So yeah. Doing salt instead of sugar because I really don't want bugs any more than I've already had with this project. That is enough and it'll crystallize nicely. And I'm gonna stand it up like this, I think. I'm gonna let these dry, and they're probably gonna take a while. So here are the pine cones. Before I put them on, I want to give the whole thing a little bit of a spritz with water just to freshen it up a bit. It's still about a week away till Yule, so I want it to stay a little fresh. But you want to do this before you put the pine cones with the salt on. I want to turn it over and do this side as well. Something on the ends where a lot of the branches will soak in water from all areas, not just where you cut the stems. Before you put the pine cones on, you want to make sure you dry this area. So let this soak in for a while. For a few minutes at least, and then come back, dry down the countertop, and we'll attach the pine cones. So I left this on the counter to dry a little bit while I had my shower. So next I want to be putting the pine cones on, and I'm just going to kind of lay them out to see where I want them first. Like, I think the smallest one here is I want to be hanging it in the middle there. These two seem to be the most kind of salty. When you pick them up too, because they're very crunchy and crumbly. And you'll get salt everywhere if you don't work with them. Still got a little. This one got a little wet in there. It'll dry out. I'm going to double the string, I think. And I'm gonna want to try and get it up under the first layer of needles and whatnot, as close to the top as possible, but under the needles, and trying not to wreck too much of the salt. All the loose threads, I'm just cutting about the length of a pine needle, so they should hide in there relatively easy after that. It is hanging on the door. I think it turned out okay. What I would have done differently, and I didn't realize that I didn't do it properly, is until after I had already had the berries on, the wax berries, is that I didn't weave it properly. I was too concerned about getting the branches sort of evened out that I didn't weave it properly as a pentagram. So I was about to take it apart at that point, so it is what it is. Perfection aside, it is what it is. It's not perfect, but it's cost me nothing to make. The pine cones, the branches were all free. The wax berries, because there's no red berries of any sort growing outside right now that I have on my property. So I made my own out of Baby Bell wax, so that was pretty much free. I'm glad I didn't know what I was saving all that wax for, but I guess I have a purpose for it now. And then salt to decorate the pine cones and green thread to tie it all together. I cut the branch off our big spruce tree outside because it had all these pine cones on it, and I cut it for the pine cones. But now I think I kind of like it just as it is. And I was thinking just to add a little bit more oomph to it, I'm just gonna add a little bow on top with this, and I think that will pretty much do it. About 2 feet long. Even. I'm gonna do a simple bow. I can play around with it later. There's a little bit of wire in the ribbon, so I can play around with it and get it the way I like it in a bit. I actually should have made this slightly longer on one side because of the way bows work. And I'm going to take the ends like that and do the little pointed tips, so it looks like that. Use this ribbon later, just take it off when I'm done with it. I might look for something to hang in the middle right here. I'm not sure what though. I'm gonna have a look around, see if I can find something. So I found this white feather from a cat's toy, I think. And then there's this lid here. I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, there we go. And it's just a lid to this jar thing, and I have lots of them because I don't use the lids. And I just used my silver paint pen to draw a pentacle on the inside that's plastic. So I drew on the inside and the outside just to get the opaqueness going because it was really streaky if I just did it one way. So yeah, I think that kind of does it. I think I'm going to hang that on my front door, and it was a really easy, simple one to do.